The first thing that has to be done is the bags need to be flattened out and spread out and stacked in such a manner that they are evenly edged. Then they're folded in half, and then a cut is made, removing all of the top end with the loose handles and the ragged edges. You end up with a stack of bags which are essentially open on both ends and form a tube once they're unfolded. Once the bags are cut and separated, it's important that a certain number of them be tied together in preparation for equipping them on the loom. The easiest way to do it is to tie 2 at a time together. Then, once a quantity are tied together, a ball needs to be created of a continuous line of these tied together. It's important that the knot be pulled firmly snug, but not too tight. The next step is tying the warp or the long strips together on the loom, which forms the basis for the weave. You start at the uppermost corner. It doesn't matter which corner. Just pick one side, and you use the very first eye bolt as a beginning point then you run down to the other end of that steel rod and use the second eye bolt as an anchor point. Then you return back to the first dowel on the other end, and then loop it, and then return back to the other end, back and forth until the loom is full. You finish off by using the eye bolts for the bar on the other side and end up at the last eye bolt. You go around it and then pull it snug and then tie off to the closest knot on the last ring that is available to you. At that point, you're ready to do the cross weave. You start at one end on one side and start the weave across with a simple over and under basket weave. As the weaving is completed and the mat is finished, the next step is to remove the steel rods by simply pulling them out of the eye bolts and out of the plastic, at which point the mat can be released up over the eye bolts and freed up and slip straight up off of the wooden dowels. That leaves the dowels sticking out in a loop. These loops need to be finger woven together to put a finished edge on the end of the mat. The last loop, in order to bury it, the easiest way is to take half a bag and tie onto it and then weave it down through underneath the side weaving. Then the mat is rolled up, and a crocheted rope handle is tied to it. As it is rolled up, a pillow is included inside of it to act as either a pillow or a cushion, and then the unit is ready to be distributed.